The internet has decided that this BMW is a ticking time bomb. If you spend 5 minutes on any automotive forum, the verdict is unanimous: stay away. They'll tell you it's a financial suicide mission. They'll tell you that owning one is just a waiting game until a 4-figure repair bill lands on your desk and guts your savings. Mechanics will roll their eyes when you pull into the lot, and your sensible friends will ask if you've lost your mind. The reputation is etched in stone: fragile, over-engineered, unreliable. But there's a massive, quiet problem with that narrative. While the comment sections are screaming about disaster, thousands of owners are quietly driving these cars past 100,000, 150,000, and even 200,000 miles. They aren't stranded on the side of the highway. They aren't filing for bankruptcy. They're enjoying some of the best driving dynamics ever engineered, while the rest of the world stays terrified of a ghost story. The gap between the internet's BMW and the real-world BMW has never been wider. We've been told for a decade that these cars are nightmares. But what if the nightmare isn't the car? What if the nightmare is how we've been taught to look at them? How did one of the most capable platforms in BMW's history become the most misunderstood car on the used market? And why are so many people still afraid of a car that, if you know the truth, might actually be the best performance bargain of the decade? On paper, the fear makes sense. If you look at the history of the N54 and early N55 engines found in the 335i or the early electronics in the X3, the rap sheet is long. We're talking about high-pressure fuel pump failures that could leave you dead in the water at 70 miles per hour. We're talking about plastic cooling systems that seem designed to disintegrate the moment the warranty expires. The stories are everywhere. You've seen the YouTube videos. My BMW 335 ruined my life. Why I'm selling my M240i after 3 months. The narrative is that these cars are soft, that the gaskets are made of paper and the sensors are made of spite. There's this idea that BMWs and engineers built these cars to be leased for 3 years and then scrapped. And for a while, it looked like the critics were right. Early owners did experience catastrophic failures. Turbo wastegates rattled like spray paint cans. Oil filter housing leaks dripped onto drive belts, causing engines to literally eat themselves. That's where the reputation began. It was born in a period of transition where BMW moved toward heavy turbocharging and complex electronics. But here's what most people don't realize about a viral horror story: tragedy gets more clicks than a boring, reliable commute. For every one person shouting about a blown turbo, there are 1,000 people who drove to work, had a blast on a back road, and parked the car without a single warning light. We've mistaken a few high-profile failures for a universal truth. So where did the unreliable tag actually come from? If you peel back the layers of these disaster stories, a pattern starts to emerge, and it isn't always a design flaw. First, we have to talk about the tuner tax. The BMW 335i and the M240i are victims of their own brilliance. These engines, specifically the N55 and the legendary B58, are capable of massive power with just a software flash. You can buy a used BMW for 20 grand, spend $500 on a tune, and suddenly you're hunting Porsches. But here's the catch. The internet forgot to tell the owners that when you double the boost, you shorten the life of every supporting component. People were slapping stage 2 tunes on cars with 80,000-mile spark plugs and original cooling systems, and then acting shocked when something went pop. Then, there's the maintenance culture, or lack thereof. BMW told owners they could go 15,000 miles between oil changes. That was a lie. It was a marketing tactic to lower the cost of ownership for the first lease holder. When those cars hit the second and third owners, they were already suffering from internal sludge and heat damage. The unreliability wasn't a hardware failure, it was a management failure. We saw a wave of people buying these cars because they were suddenly affordable, but they treated them like a Toyota Camry. You cannot treat a high-performance, precision-engineered German machine like an appliance. When you defer a 200 gasket repair for 6 months, it turns into a $4,000 engine rebuild. The internet amplifies the result, the broken car, but it rarely shows you the 3 years of neglect that led up to it. We are blaming the tool for the failures of the craftsman. Now, let's look at the reality. Let's talk about why the experts are wrong. If you look at the BMW M240i, the later 340i, or the modern Z4, you're looking at what might be the most reliable straight 6 engine ever made, not just by BMW standards, by any standards. Toyota, the kings of reliability, spent years tearing apart BMW's B58 engine before they agreed to put it in the Supra. They didn't do that because they liked the way it sounded. They did it because the engineering was bulletproof. The closed deck block, the heat management, the simplified timing chain, it was a masterpiece of durability. This engine isn't fragile, it's sensitive to neglect. There is a massive difference between a car that breaks and a car that needs. When you look at the data, the nightmare, cars have largely been cured. The aftermarket and the enthusiast community have solved the puzzles that BMW's accountants wouldn't. We have aluminum replacement parts for the plastic cooling bits. We have revised fuel pumps. We have a roadmap to 200,000 miles that is clearer than it's ever been. I've seen X3s and FF series models with 180,000 miles that still feel tighter and more responsive than a brand new economy car. Why? Because the core architecture is overbuilt. These cars are designed to sustain 130 mph on the Autobahn for hours at a time. Your 20-minute commute to the office isn't stressing the engine, it's barely waking it up. When maintained properly, meaning oil changes every 5,000 miles and proactive cooling swaps, these cars aren't just reliable, they are tanks. The ticking time bomb only goes off if you cut the wrong wires. But I'm not here to tell you it's all sunshine and free repairs. That's how people get burnt. The reason the unreliable myth persists is that when these cars do fail, they don't fail cheap. This is where most owners make their biggest mistake. They buy the cheapest BMW's 335i on Facebook Marketplace, the one with 4 owners, mismatched tires, and no service records, and they think they got a deal. They didn't buy a car. They bought someone else's debt. BMW parts are expensive, the labor is specialized. If a sensor goes bad in a ZD4, it's not a $20 part you pick up at a gas station. It's a $200 part that requires a specific diagnostic tool to calibrate. This is where the nightmare happens. It's not that the car breaks every week, it's that the average person isn't prepared for the cost of the things that are supposed to be replaced. Brakes, tires, and bushings on these cars cost double what they do on a Honda. If you buy a BMW for $15,000, you have to remember you are maintaining a car that originally cost $55,000. The car doesn't care what you paid for it, it only knows what it's worth to fix. Cheap BMWs are the most expensive cars in the world. That isn't a myth, that's a law of physics. If you don't have a $2,000 emergency fund sitting in a bank account, you shouldn't own one, period. So, who should actually take the plunge? This car is perfect for the enthusiast who understands the contract of ownership. You are the person who checks their oil. You are the person who listens for new noises. You are the person who researches DIY before taking it to a dealership. If you treat maintenance as an investment rather than an inconvenience, this car will reward you with a driving experience that nothing else in the price bracket can touch. If you want a car that can be a civilized executive express on Monday and a mountain-carving beast on Sunday, and you're willing to pay the premium for that duality, the M240i or a well-kept 335i is a steal. Who is it not for? It's not for the person who ignores the service engine soon, light for 3 months. It's not for the person who wants the lowest possible cost per mile. It's not for the person who thinks preventative maintenance is a scam invented by mechanics. If you want to just put gas in and drive for 5 years without opening the hood, go buy a Lexus. You'll be bored, but you'll be safe. BMW creates a polarized ownership experience. It is either the best car you've ever owned or the worst, and the deciding factor is almost always the person behind the steering wheel. Car culture loves a villain. Negativity bias is a powerful thing. We don't share stories about the 5 Series that hit 120,000 miles with nothing but oil changes and a set of tires. That's boring. We share the story about the guy whose engine seized because he never changed his oil filter housing gasket and the belt snapped into the crank seal. We've allowed the worst case scenarios to define the entire brand. We've also blamed the manufacturer for the sins of the second owner. You know the one, the guy who buys the car with 90,000 miles, puts a pop and bang tune on it, drives it like he stole it, and then goes on Reddit to cry about German junk when the water pump dies. The internet has a way of stripping away context. It sees a broken BMW and assumes it's a bad car. It rarely asks how that car was treated for the first decade of its life. We've turned sensitive into unreliable, and in doing so, we've scared ourselves away from some of the best machines ever built. Drama sells, reliability doesn't. And that's how these cars became the victims of a decade-long smear campaign fueled by neglect and internet echo chambers. This isn't a perfect car. BMW has made mistakes, and they've built some components that genuinely deserve the criticism they get. But it is not the ticking time bomb the world wants you to believe it is. The M240i, the X3, these aren't disasters. They are precision instruments. If you treat a scalpel like a sledgehammer, it's going to break. That doesn't mean the scalpel is unreliable. It means you're using the wrong tool for the job. If you find a car with a documented history, if you understand that preventative is cheaper than reactive, and if you respect the engineering, these BMWs are some of the most rewarding vehicles on the road. They punish neglect with a vengeance, but they reward responsible ownership with a level of performance, comfort, and soul that most reliable cars can't even dream of. The internet is wrong. These cars aren't nightmares. They're just misunderstood. And for those who know the truth, that's great news. because it keeps the prices down for the rest of us. Now, I know some of you are typing a comment right now about how your uncle's 335i blew up at a stoplight. I want to hear it. But I also want to hear from the high mileage heroes. Are you driving a B58 or an N55 with 6 figures on the clock? How did you do it? What's the secret that the forums aren't telling people? Would you actually buy one of these after hearing this? Or is the fear still too real? Let's settle this in the comments. Is it a money pit or just high maintenance? And if you want the truth about cars, not just the forum panic, hit that subscribe button. We're digging into the myths that everyone else is too afraid to touch.